She is a local here, and she's been up here for over a year. Make some noise for that. And then she's performed at the Ice House down in Pasadena, if anyone's familiar. So make some noise for Faith Kearns.
Hello. Keep it going for Geneva and Spade and Spatula. Woo! Finally, something to do on this mountain besides clean my gun and get knocked up. I'm just kidding. I don't have any kids. I lived in LA for 6 years before coming here. I met 0 babies. 0 of my friends had children. I've been up here 19 months. I know 6 newborns. And a fetus. There's more coming. Like, look, if you have kids, if you love kids, mazel, good for you. It's not for me. That's fine. I can imagine a scenario where I would have a kid, but in that scenario, I'm a Targaryen. Like, the fate of an empire has to be at stake for me to have a child. It's just not something I want to do. I'm a nerd, so I have note cards if I get scared or get off my train of thought. Oh, yeah. So here's I would have to be a Targaryen. Like, I will bring forth a child when you bring forth a dragon. That's the deal, Chadgarian. First of his name, lifter of weights, oblivious of clitoris. My aunt got divorced when I was little, so she was like, she was dating, she was doing the thing. I was like just old enough to overhear her tell my mom once, she had this boyfriend who was like, this is the first time I've ever had an orgasm. This is the first guy. And I'm like, I have 2 cousins. You had 2 babies with someone who didn't even make you come. You ruined your pussy for someone who didn't even fuck it right. Why? How? There's some horrifying statistic. I didn't commit the numbers to memory, but you can look at them and verify later. But it's something that straight women have the lowest percentage of sexual satisfaction. It's abysmal. It's 16%. And then bisexual women are a little higher. And then lesbian women are having the best sex of all time. So dudes, just look at your lady and know that at any time she could leave you for a lesbian and be so much happier. Step it up. So why? Why don't we prioritize, feminine pleasure, sex? Why? I think a lot of it has to do with our Puritan roots, right? There's this idea deep ingrained in our brain that sex, you shouldn't have sex for pleasure, that's for making babies, and nothing on this earth should make you feel as good as God's love, right? That's the point. Which again sounds like the logic of someone who's never had a really good orgasm. I'm sorry, name any other experience as transcendent that gets you closer to God than a really good orgasm. I'll wait. That's what I thought. And this reminds me of my favorite Bible story. I would love to share it with you. If you'll indulge me. Does anyone know who Lilith is? Any witchy ladies in the crowd? Yes? Woo! Great. So you can verify this with me. Lilith, who those of you who don't know, is this figure in ancient Judeo-Christian mythology. Her story is in the Apocrypha. So it might not be in the Bible The Council of Nicaea was like, okay, this one's not a greatest hit. We're not going to put it in. It's more of a cult classic. We'll put it in the B-sides. It's not going to affect the way that women are treated or the way that their bodies are legislated. It'll be fine. But in it, Lilith is Adam's first wife. Yeah, there was someone before Eve. And then, through time, Lilith becomes this symbol of the absolute demonic women's section. She's like the first succubus. She's the mother of all demons. She's married to Lucifer. They blame sudden infant death syndrome on her for thousands of years. You can look it up, there are ancient cribs with talismans like carved into them so that Lilith couldn't take the baby's soul. So why? Why? What could this woman possibly have done to earn this level of literal demonization? Just think in your mind, what could she possibly have done? And I'll tell you. She asked to get on top. She wanted to get off. She was laying there, and Adam was doing the thing, and she was like, hey, if I, so hey, we're both made from dust, right? Like, that's the other thing, is that, like, she's Adam's equal. So she's like, hey, we're both made of dust. Like, how come I always have to lay beneath you? And this is true. I looked it up, because I'm a nerd. The language is, Adam showed her no sympathy. I don't know what that means. I can imagine it's either really bad or, like, not as bad, but it's all bad. He shows her no sympathy, whatever. Then Lilith goes to God, right? She's like, hey, Dad, my boyfriend, your son, he won't let me have sex the way I want. Or like 40% of the people in here are like, oh, I've seen that episode of Pornhub. And she said, hey, God. And God also shows her no sympathy. Okay. Again, don't know what that means. So then Lilith goes to the angels, who I like to pretend are her gay best friends. She's like, Michael, Gabriel, Lucy, you will not believe what happened. She tells them the story. He's like, oh, Adam showed me, I wanted to get on top. Adam wouldn't let me. I complained to God, and he didn't do anything. And Lucifer was there like, bitch, I could have told you God was trash. And I imagine she was, conflicted. Like, oh, but I still love him. Maybe we can work it out. And they were like, girl, I do not care. I do not care if he is the last man on earth, or the first, or whatever the fuck. You deserve better. And it was true. And so they fly her out of Eden. A private jet sounds nice, but I want to be on the Rebel Angel UFO out of Eden. That's what I want. So she leaves. And then that's where it starts, right? Oh, also, this is why Eve was made of the rib instead. God looked at the situation and was like, ooh, okay, that first one was a little spicy. I know, let's make her out of something boring and like subservient, like a literal part of the man's body. Cool. Moving on. And so, yeah, like, this is why, like, Lilith is this horrible symbol of demons, and she steals and eats babies, and it's like, man, she just wanted to have some good sex. Why is that the threshold for demonization? Let's see. Talk about Lilith. Oh, I'm applying to grad school. Yeah, I got one useless degree. I thought I would go back for another. I went to community college first, though. I saved some money. It was like, cool. I'm almost as smart as the people who didn't go to college at all. I think I would like to be done now. Thank you for everything. Have a good night.
Love that. I love that. The extra rib. Any women here have an extra rib? Is that a thing? Is that real?